Hey guys, in Psalm 100 it says, serve the Lord with joy. Isn't that an amazing verse that we get the honor of serving God, but not just serving Him, but serving Him with joy? Well, what I love is looking at where does joy stem from. And in the New Testament it says that the fruit of the Spirit is love, joy, peace, patience, and it goes on. So one of the fruits of the Spirit is joy. So how do we grow in those? How are we gonna grow in our amount of joy that we're serving with and that we're living our life with? Well, that's gonna come with our personal relationship with Christ. And the message a few weeks ago that we heard during the One Prayer series was amazing when it talked about how to get in God's Word. So I'm challenging each of you to go buy a prayer journal, get a devotional book that will help you get into God's Word and let God's Word take root in your heart. Because when it does, that's when it's going to go from our heart to our actions. And you're going to see a tremendous change as you start to grow in the fruits of the Spirit, including joy. So come together this weekend. Let's have an amazing time serving God with joy.
Here at C3 Kids, security is one of our top priorities. Anytime you go onto a hall and you find a doorway to a main entrance that is unmanned, you then must be the person that mans that doorway. You'll continue to check tags and make sure anyone entering the hallway is supposed to be there, ensuring that they either have a parent tag or some type of badge or identification identifying them as a worker. You'll continue to work at that station until you find someone with the security team who then can relieve you. We want to make sure we create a safe, happy, and healthy environment at all times.
Hey guys, I want to talk with you guys about one of the 9 guiding principles here at C3 Kids, and that's all kids allowed. We want to make sure every kid feels like they're welcome here at C3 Kids, whether it's their first time, whether it's their 100th time, or whether they haven't been in 100 times. We want to make sure every single one of them feels comfortable and they also feel welcome. So there's a few things that we do to make sure they feel welcome. Number one is we don't assume that any kid has knowledge. In other words, we don't assume that a kid knows where a specific book in the Bible is. We don't assume that a kid even knows which testament goes before which testament. We want to make sure we are over-explaining ourselves, so that way a kid doesn't feel like, hey, I've never even opened up a Bible, so here I am, I'm already different than everybody else. We also want to make sure that we're explaining each activity, why we're doing it. We also want to make sure we're explaining how we're doing it. We want to make sure that during those transition times, we're explaining where we're going next and why we're doing the things that we're doing. During worship, it's important for us to explain the motions so that a new kid or a kid that hasn't been in a while knows exactly how to do the worship motions. And then also we want to make sure we're sticking with the day's lesson. You never want to be talking about something that happened 3 or 4 weeks ago in case the child hasn't been in a little while, so they already feel like they're left out. And lastly, we want to make sure that we make every child feel comfortable by letting them know what's happening next, so there's not that anticipation. So guys, I can't wait to see you this weekend, and let's remember all kids are allowed here at C3 Kids, and let's have a great time. See you this weekend.